Hi everyone, it's Michelle Chudy. I'm going to take you on a tutorial on how to upload an ebook to Amazon. Go to kdp.amazon.com and sign into your account. Now if you do not have an Amazon account, you do need to have one. And if you do have one already, just click here. It'll take you in through the portal to the direct publishing portal, and you start by double clicking on creating a new title. And once you're into the next area, you want to go through and decide whether or not you're going to enroll your book into the Kindle Direct Publishing Select program. You need to read through to see if this is actually a good fit for you. And if it is, go ahead and click here. And then what you would do going forward is enter your information as far as your book details. In the first field, you're going to enter your book title, which is The House of You, for my example. Now if you have a subtitle, you would enter this information here. Keep in mind, any field that is listed as optional, you do not have to have that complete in order to publish your book. So you can also go back later on and edit your details if you want to make this more robust. And then you would scroll down and note whether or not this is part of a series. If it is part of a series, you would click here, enter the series title, and the volume number of the book that you're publishing. Is this book 1, 2, or 3 of the series? If it's not, just go ahead and unclick that and move forward. Also want to call out, as I'm sure you just noticed, that when you hover over any of this hyperlink information, there is more information that is in a call out box to give you details about what that field's about. Okay, so come on down and let's look at the publisher field. This is optional as well, and you have a few choices here. You can list yourself as the publisher. You can come up with a pseudonym or entity for your self-publishing self or house. I used Kingdom Kinetic Publishing for mine, or you can just leave this blank. But what is really important is this box here. This is not optional, and this is the description. This needs to be your compelling content of what the book is about. This is what people will read to determine whether or not they want to buy your book. That in here. I've already done that. That way you do not have to sit through my typing, which will save us quite a bit of time. All right, the next field, very important one, and one that I messed up on when I actually loaded my ebook. I was in such haste that I forgot to list myself as an author. I strongly suggest that you take the time to list yourself as the author. What was really even more funny, I listed the editor and she got credit for my book. So when I'm looking for my name, I can't find it because I listed the editor and forgot myself. So this is where you want to put the author name and anyone else that contributed to your book. So you would type your first name and last name, and then you would want to go over here and select what role this person actually contributed to the book. So obviously if I'm the author, I'm going to select author. Just go ahead and save that. And then you'll be asked what language is your book in. This is not optional either. So you want to list whether or not it's in English, Spanish, whatever language you actually wrote your book in and want it to be published in. Now the ISBN field, this can be an enigma if you're not used to publishing or the mechanics behind. This is the stock number that is an individual or unique number that it's used to track your book through all the retail process. For Amazon, they don't require it. It is an optional field, but I would highly recommend you to research this to find what's the best fit for you. You want to verify your publishing rights in step 2. You're going to decide whether or not this is a public work or this is a work that you hold the necessary rights to. Well, if it's an individual work, we'll click here. And then number 3, you want to go ahead and target your customers. You want to go in and add the categories or the genres where you are targeting with your book. And what that means is that you're going to be categorized into a specific bookshelf in the digital space. So mine falls under religion, and then you can go in and click whether or not that it's Christian life, what it does actually apply to. Mine's Christian life and devotional. Well, you have the opportunity to choose a secondary category, and this is where you would actually select that here. If you just want to use the one, just leave that alone and just hit save. And then you will go down to the next category, and these are all optional, but you can go even more refined on who you're targeting. Now this field, which is also optional, I would highly recommend that you fill it out because it helps on the search piece in order to find your book. Now you want to go through in step 4, choose your release option. Are you going to make it available for pre-order where you can actually create buzz before you actually release it in pre-sale, or are you going to release it right now? Well, my book is ready now, so I'm going to go ahead and click that or leave it alone. And then the next piece, which is the fun piece, is your cover. You're going to upload your cover. Make sure the imagery that you use is compelling, actually stand out from all the rest. So you want the colors to be engaging and the imagery to be engaging. So you find your image, you double click on that, and it uploads, and when it's successful it will show you that it's loaded successfully by giving you a message. Now the next piece is uploading your book file. You want to decide whether or not you're going to enable the digital rights management, which will restrict what your book is able to do in the hands of other people, or if you can leave it alone where they can actually share it and do whatever. And the next thing you need to do is add your content. And then you want to go in and do your Kindle file, which is the Mobi file. And this is one that you can actually go in and do yourself, or you can go on Fiverr or one of the Elance sites and ask somebody else to do it for you. I did it for $25 by dropping it out to a guy in Canada. Fantastic. It was done in 24 hours, and my time was better spent writing. Now, as you're going forward, you do not have to wait for this. You can hit save and continue, and it will continue to upload your content. Now, the next piece is verifying where you want to sell your book. Do you want to do it worldwide, or do you want to list just into individual territories? For the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to go in and hit United States. And then you want to go in and set your pricing and royalty. Now, this is where you also need to go back in and take the time to research. Find out what the royalty is, which is basically the money back to you. It'll walk you through the process, and you would set your price. Again, another tip is take some time to research to find out what the competition is doing, what are other like books selling for. Do you want to sell for the same price? Are you offering more? Set your price based off of that information. You can adjust it going forward, but you can at least take the time to research it to see if you're in the ballpark. And this is checking whether or not it is going to set a price based off of the US price. I left that alone. That way I don't have to deal with any of that. It does all the work for me. And then you decide whether or not you're going to enroll your book in the Kindle Matchbook program. Read under the details to find out what that's about, and whether or not you're going to lend the book. You would actually click here. And then last but not least, you're almost finished. You just click this box by acknowledging that you've had all rights necessary to make the content, that it belongs to you, and that you've read the terms and conditions, and that you're ready to publish. Another tip, go into here, read through this, and print it off and save it for your files. That way you know what you've actually signed up for at the time that you published, because things do change, and at least you'll have a frame of reference. And then when you're finished, all you have to do is hit save and publish by clicking here, and then you're done. Thanks for your time. I hope this tutorial was helpful. And if you would like to know more about my writings, go to michellechudy.com and check out The Battle of Surrender or The House of You, and watch for the up and coming works that are about ready to be released. God bless.